We all face challenges. Life throws curveballs. It's easy to get caught in a spiral of negativity. Negative thinking can feel like a heavy weight. It drags us down. It steals our joy. We start to doubt ourselves. We see the worst in every situation. This negativity can affect every aspect of our lives. Our relationships suffer. Our work performance declines. Our health can even be impacted. But there is hope. We don't have to let negative thoughts control us. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of optimism. Picture yourself approaching challenges with confidence and grace. This is the power of overcoming negative thinking. It's not about denying challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about shifting our perspective. It's about choosing to focus on the good, even in difficult times. Negative thinking is a subtle saboteur. It whispers doubts in our ears, casting shadows on our brightest aspirations. It magnifies our flaws and minimizes our accomplishments. Like a distorted mirror, it reflects a warped version of reality, leaving us feeling inadequate and defeated. We begin to question our worth, our abilities, and our place in the world. This inner critic can be relentless. It feeds on our insecurities and fears, growing stronger with each negative thought we entertain. We may find ourselves trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage, avoiding challenges, and shrinking from opportunities. The negative thoughts become a self-fulfilling prophecy, holding us back from living the life we truly desire.
Where do these negative thoughts come from? Why do our minds seem predisposed to focus on the negative? The answer is complex and multifaceted, often rooted in a combination of past experiences, learned behaviors, and even evolutionary biology.
Our upbringing plays a significant role in shaping our thought patterns. If we were raised in an environment where criticism was prevalent or where we witnessed a lot of negativity, we may have unconsciously internalized these patterns, carrying them with us into adulthood. Similarly, traumatic experiences or difficult life events can leave an imprint on our minds, making us more susceptible to negative thinking.
Negative thinking doesn't just stay confined to our minds. It's not a silent, solitary struggle. Instead, it ripples outward, impacting every aspect of our lives. Like a dark cloud obscuring the sun, negativity casts a shadow over our relationships, our work, and even our physical well-being. Our interactions with others become strained. We may withdraw from social gatherings, fearing judgment or criticism. We might misinterpret the actions and words of loved ones, assuming the worst and creating unnecessary conflict. Trust erodes, intimacy diminishes, and a sense of isolation sets in. Have you ever noticed how focusing on the negative seems to attract more negativity into our lives? It's as if our thoughts have a magnetic pull, drawing in experiences that confirm our worst fears. This isn't merely a coincidence. It's the powerful effect of our beliefs shaping our reality. When we dwell on negative thoughts, we filter our perceptions through a lens of pessimism. We become hypersensitive to negativity in our environment, noticing every setback, every disappointment, every perceived threat. This selective attention reinforces our negative beliefs, creating a vicious cycle that can be difficult to break. Negative thinking can feel like a prison, a cage of our own making. We become trapped by our own thoughts, held captive by limiting beliefs and self-doubt. We may feel powerless to break free, resigned to a life of mediocrity and dissatisfaction. The bars of this cage are forged from fear, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. We cling to the familiar even if it brings us pain, because the alternative feels too daunting. We convince ourselves that it's safer to stay small, to avoid taking risks, to settle for less than we deserve.
Wired for negativity. An evolutionary perspective. Our brains are extraordinary organs, shaped by millennia of evolution to prioritize survival. In the distant past, our ancestors faced constant threats. Predators lurking in the shadows, harsh weather conditions, and scarce resources. To survive, they needed to be highly attuned to danger, constantly scanning their surroundings for potential threats. This survival instinct is deeply embedded in our DNA, hardwired into the very fabric of our brains. While we no longer face the same life or death situations as our ancestors, this ancient wiring still influences our perceptions and reactions, often leading to what scientists call the negativity bias. The brain's negativity bias. A closer look. Neuroscience has shed light on the mechanisms behind the negativity bias, revealing how our brains are literally wired to prioritize negative information. Specific brain regions, including the amygdala, play a crucial role in this process. The amygdala acts as our brain's alarm system, constantly scanning for potential threats. When it detects something it perceives as dangerous, a loud noise, a sudden movement, or even a negative thought, it triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. From threat detection to thought distortion. This negativity bias, while rooted in survival, can lead to a distorted perception of reality. Our brains become so adept at detecting and remembering negativity that we often overlook or downplay positive experiences. This negativity bias affects not only our perceptions of the external world, but also our internal dialogue, the constant stream of thoughts flowing through our minds. We tend to ruminate more on negative thoughts, replaying past mistakes, worrying about future events, and criticizing ourselves and others.
Imagine your mind as a garden. Just as weeds can choke the life out of beautiful flowers, negative thoughts can suffocate our potential for happiness and growth. But we are not powerless bystanders in this garden. We have the tools to uproot those weeds and cultivate a more vibrant inner landscape. The first step is awareness. By simply noticing our negative thoughts without judgment, we create a space between ourselves and those thoughts. We begin to see them for what they are, fleeting mental events, not absolute truths. Cognitive restructuring is a powerful technique that involves challenging and reframing our negative thoughts. It's like swapping out a distorted lens for a clearer one, allowing us to see ourselves and the world in a more accurate and empowering light. Often, our negative thoughts are based on cognitive distortions, irrational thought patterns that warp our perceptions. For example, we might engage in all-or-nothing thinking, seeing things as black or white, good or bad, with no middle ground. Or we might fall prey to catastrophizing, imagining worst-case scenarios as if they were inevitable outcomes. While changing our thoughts is essential, it's equally important to take action. Sometimes, the best way to overcome negative thinking is to simply do something, anything, that shifts our focus and energy. Behavioral activation is a powerful tool that involves engaging in activities that bring us joy, purpose, and a sense of accomplishment. When we're actively engaged in meaningful activities, our minds have less space to ruminate on negative thoughts.
A symphony of support, building a network of resilience. We are not meant to navigate the challenges of life alone. Just as a symphony orchestra relies on the harmonious interplay of many instruments, our well-being thrives when we cultivate a supportive network of relationships. Connecting with others, whether it's family, friends, support groups, or therapists, provides a safe space to share our struggles, receive encouragement, and gain new perspectives. When we feel heard and understood, the weight of our burdens lessens.
Seeking expert guidance when professional help can make a difference. While support from loved ones is invaluable, there are times when seeking professional guidance from a therapist or counselor can be immensely beneficial. Just as we wouldn't hesitate to consult a doctor for a physical ailment, we shouldn't hesitate to seek help for our mental health. Therapists are trained to help us understand the root causes of our negative thinking patterns, develop coping mechanisms, and build healthier thought processes. They provide a safe, non-judgmental space to explore our thoughts and feelings and to develop personalized strategies for change.
Alex's story, Emerging from the Shadows. Alex, a talented graphic designer, had always struggled with self-doubt. From a young age, he had internalized critical comments from a well-meaning but demanding art teacher. Those early experiences planted seeds of insecurity that grew into a thicket of negative self-talk. Despite his creative gifts, Alex constantly second-guessed his work. He saw flaws where others saw brilliance. He compared himself unfavorably to his peers, convinced that he would never measure up. This negativity spilled over into his personal life, making it difficult for him to form meaningful connections or pursue his passions with confidence. As I delved deeper into mindfulness practices, I discovered the power of cognitive restructuring. I learned to identify the distorted thought patterns that were fueling my negativity, challenging their validity, and reframing them in a more balanced and realistic light. One of my biggest breakthroughs was realizing that my thoughts were not facts. Just because I had a thought, it didn't mean I had to believe it or let it dictate my actions.
Cultivating gratitude, a shift in perspective. Gratitude is a simple practice with profound effects. It's about focusing on the good, acknowledging blessings big and small. This shift from what we lack to what we have combats negativity. Imagine waking up and appreciating the gift of a new day. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of your favorite morning beverage, the sound of birdsong outside your window. Ordinary moments become extraordinary through gratitude. The upward spiral, from gratitude to growth. When we approach life with a grateful heart, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. Gratitude fosters a sense of abundance, reminding us that even when things are tough, we are not lacking in blessings. This sense of abundance can fuel our motivation, creativity, and resilience. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude can have a significant impact on our well-being. It can reduce stress and anxiety, improve sleep quality, boost our immune systems, and increase feelings of happiness and contentment. The journey inward. We've journeyed through the intricate landscapes of negative thinking, explored its origins, unearthed its impact on our lives, and delved into the science behind its grasp. But most importantly, we've illuminated a path forward, a way to break free from negativity and step into our potential. Overcoming negative thinking is not about erasing every negative thought. It's about changing our relationship with those thoughts. It's about recognizing that we have a choice. We can choose to believe the stories our minds tell us, or we can choose to write a new narrative, one filled with hope, resilience, and possibility. Embrace the dawn. As we conclude this exploration, let us remember that we are works in progress, always evolving, always capable of growth and transformation. The journey may not always be easy, but it is in the challenges that we discover our true strength and resilience. Imagine waking up each morning with a renewed sense of hope and purpose. ready to embrace the day with open arms and an optimistic heart. Picture yourself approaching challenges as opportunities for growth, setbacks as stepping stones on the path to success, and criticisms as valuable feedback to help you refine your craft.